Hello everyone. When non wrestling fans like to act like they are better than those of us who are obsessed with the sport, they will criticize wrestling by calling it fake, as if they know something we don't. Sure, unless you are a small child, you know that wrestling is predetermined, but this does not mean that many of the moves are not real. Nearly every wrestler has suffered injuries in the ring during their careers, breaking bones, tearing ligaments, or worse. A few wrestlers have even died in the ring for the business they love. Today, wrestling is supposed to be safer than ever thanks to advances in the medicine and positive developments like WWE's wellness policy. Still, wrestlers in both WWE and AEW are getting injured a lot. In just the last few weeks, we have seen Liv Morgan, Seth Rollins, and Adam Cole seriously hurt, but there might be a reason for that happening. With AEW not having house shows and WWE pretty much having done away with them, is this causing talent to get hurt more often? There have been a plethora of injuries in WWE lately, so much so that it can be hard to keep up. Kevin Owens has a neck injury so severe that it requires surgery, and there are fears he may never wrestle again. The likes of Tamatonga, Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio, and Ortiz are battling injuries. Isa Dragunov has been gone for months. Drew McIntyre has battled several nagging injuries, and Chad Gable just went under the knife for surgery. Many of those injuries we don't know about until we read a news story, and some of them, like Kevin Owens, are the result of years of punishment, not a certain move gone wrong in one match. But there have been a few injuries seen on WWE TV the last few weeks that occurred during a match and forced WWE to change their plans. Joey Stark suffered a gruesome leg injury on Raw several weeks ago. Then came Liv Morgan hurting her shoulder again, and on what looked to be a routine move, forcing the match to be stopped. And on Saturday night's main event, Seth Rollins, who has battled knee injuries in the past, hurt his knee against again LA Knight, which led to a change that saw Knight getting the quick victory. AEW has an unfortunate injury history, with several concussions suffered by the likes of Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, and John Moxley over the years that were made to look worse when the referee did not stop the match. They have gotten better at wrestler safety because of the backlash, but AEW injuries are mounting. Jay White has been gone since April, Orange Cassidy has been out for months with a torn pec, Juice Robinson and Sky Blue just returned from leg injuries. Buddy Matthews hurt his ankle and Mac Davis broke his foot, and Eddie Kingston has not been seen in 15 months due to a torn ACL. Most heartbreaking of all was the news that Adam Cole may have to retire because of another concussion. What is causing all of these injuries? While it can't be proven, many are wondering if it coincides with both AEW and now WWE holding almost no house shows. Outside of a short house rules tour, AEW has never grown enough to get into the house show business. For WWE, though live events were a big part of who they were for decades. Wrestlers could work 5 days a week every week, moving from small town to small town for house shows. That style of scheduling goes all the way back to the 70s and didn't stop until TKO took over. This was seen as great news. Wrestlers were put under intense physical demands, so doing away with house shows mean that not only could talent spend more time at home with their family, but they could also have more time to heal up and rest too. But now more wrestlers are getting injured than ever despite such a limited schedule. Is this because wrestlers went from the extreme of competing too much to not enough? To be safe in the ring, wrestlers need to go over their craft as much as possible, perfecting it so that they know how to take and deliver bumps in the best way, while also getting used to the toll on their bodies. Today wrestlers compete maybe once a week, which means much less time in the ring getting it right. Certainly, they do practice behind closed doors, away from fans, but nothing compares to the fast action of a match in the moment in front of an audience. It's like an NFL player that sits out the preseason to avoid injury, then gets hurt when the regular season starts. So, how does wrestling fix this new injury trend? There will always be injuries in wrestling. To think that you can totally prevent them is ridiculous, but they can surely be lessened in their numbers and severity. Part of the injury trend has to do with the style of the sport today, with it being much more physical and intense. The days of constant arm bars and chokeholds are a thing of past. Now wrestlers are flipping and flopping in and out of the ring like stuntmen, leaving us in awe and wondering how they are not hurt in every match. In truth, wrestlers are like magicians, able to make a move look extremely painful while being completely protected. But injuries do happen, especially when you are not practicing those high sports a lot. While there is no definitive answer to solve the problem, part of it must come from wrestling getting more reps. This doesn't mean that WWE needs to go back to 5 shows a week. No one wants that. But what about a show on the weekend to get everything right before performing on TV during the week? That's harder for AW. He's not in the place to hold well attended house shows right now, but WWE can. Today, WWE under TKO is money driven, with shows held only in the biggest of US and international cities. Families going to a WWE show in their smaller town on a Saturday night is a thing of past. It needs to be brought back for both the fans and the wrestlers. So guys, these all are the news and updates for this video. Before leaving, do like, share and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. We will meet in our next video. Till then, thanks for watching.